From mind-blowing sights to jaw-dropping discoveries.
You can now take a close look at with our camera. There are several coffins that are hanged up in the crevice of the mountain.
And phenomena so baffling that even scientists are left speechless.
And this car literally just drove up this.
Our drones have captured it all, and get ready to witness some of the most unbelievable moments ever caught on camera. Canadian wildlife enthusiast had his patience pay off big time when his drone recorded an unforgettable moment in the wild. A massive bull moose wandered out from the trees. Suddenly, the moose shook its entire body, and with one powerful toss of its head, the antlers fell to the ground like something straight out of a nature documentary. The moment was so rare, it felt almost unreal. After the moose calmly walked away, the lucky drone operator went out to collect the fallen antlers, scoring an extraordinary keepsake from this magical encounter with nature.
I was flying my drone and spotted 3 bulls. 2 were shedded and 1 still had both sides. Anyway, he jumped up out of his bed and shook himself and shook both antlers off.
Angry ram. Flying a drone can be thrilling, but sometimes it stirs up more trouble than you'd expect. A few years back, a guy decided to hover his camera near a ram he spotted grazing in the bushes. He thought he'd get a cool close-up shot, but clearly the ram wasn't a fan of being spied on. With one quick, powerful headbutt, the ram sent the drone crashing into the bushes. Thankfully, neither the ram nor the drone suffered any real damage. The guy managed to retrieve his camera, but I bet he learned to keep his distance from nature's tougher residents after that epic showdown. Sunbathing man. In 2015, a drone caught a wild moment in Rhode Island when a man was spotted lounging on top of a 200-foot tall wind turbine, soaking up the sun. Talk about living on the edge. This guy wasn't just sunbathing, he was taking a nap at dizzying heights. When he noticed the drone, he casually waved like it was no big deal. While drones might be cool for capturing crazy moments, they've also made privacy a thing of the past, even for those taking naps on towering turbines. Guess this guy will rethink his next sunbathing spot. Ghost night. This drone footage of Berkeley Castle seemed perfectly ordinary at first glance, but when the guy reviewed it at home, something downright eerie emerged. As the drone passed over the castle's courtyard, a faint white figure could be seen, almost like a translucent silhouette. Slowing down the footage revealed what looked like a ghostly knight, complete with armor, galloping across the ancient grounds before fading out completely. Considering the castle's history dating back to the 11th century, it's not hard to imagine restless spirits lingering behind. Sinkhole. In Illinois, a football field straight up caved in, leaving everyone scratching their heads. It started out as just a regular field, until the ground buckled and sank, forming a perfectly round crater right in the middle. Some people swore it looked like aliens had landed, the way it collapsed so cleanly and suddenly. But nope, it was a massive sinkhole. Even a giant light pole toppled right in, like it didn't stand a chance. By the end of it, there was a massive 100-foot wide hole that looked more like something out of a sci-fi movie than real life. Ghost bike. This one looks like it's straight out of a horror movie. Back in November 2019, a spooky clip from Singapore popped up showing what people started calling the ghost bike. In the dead of night, this bike was seen cruising down the street with no one on it. The driver who recorded it didn't even realize at first, but as he got closer, things got even weirder. The bike seemed to steer itself like it was showing off some serious skills. Honestly, it's hard not to get chills watching this. At first I thought it might have been a prank or a trick, but after playing it back a bunch of times, it really looks like something supernatural is going on. Angry eagle. While drone technology has reached new heights, not all flights are smooth sailing. This drone was met with quite the accident while flying high in the sky. It was mercilessly shot down by an irritated eagle. Looks like it was too touchy about sharing the sky. Now, before you think this is all-out avian warfare, this eagle was actually trained to take down drones to protect our airspaces from spying flyers. Putin's face. While driving down the road, a group of friends had a bizarre encounter. A flock of birds was flying overhead, and wait for it, they seemed to form the face of Vladimir Putin. Seriously, take a look and tell me that doesn't resemble him. Naturally, the video went viral, and let's just say the internet is in overdrive. Wild theories have flooded social media, ranging from secret government spy tech to ominous warnings. Some say it's just a freak coincidence, while others think it might be something more sinister. Shark encounter. Drones aren't just good for catching stunning land footage, they've also been documenting some seriously dramatic moments at sea, like this one. A guy was out crab hunting when out of nowhere, a massive great white shark charged his boat, jaws wide open, and started taking bites out of it. Was it angry? Hungry? Who knows, but it wasn't letting up. In a panic, the guy tossed his catch into the water, hoping to distract the shark. Lucky for him, it worked. The predator went after the crabs, leaving the man and his boat behind. Ohio adventure. Thinking about hiking at Salt Fork State Park, Ohio? You might want to rethink that, unless meeting an 8-foot hairy giant is on your bucket list. Over 40 Bigfoot sightings have been reported there, and some adventurers decided to investigate with a drone, and what they captured was wild. A massive hairy figure striding through the woods. The video's not super sharp, but you can clearly spot the creature on the left side of the screen. At one point, it even raises its arms, almost like it knew it was being watched, before vanishing into the trees. Is this the proof Ohio's been waiting for? It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure. The legend of Bigfoot isn't fading anytime soon. Matrix glitch. This video seriously has people scratching their heads, wondering if reality isn't as solid as we think. A driver caught something on camera that made no sense. A car frozen midair, tilted like it had hit an invisible wall. It wasn't just stuck, it was defying all known physics, hanging there as if the laws of gravity took a day off. Some were quick to call it a glitch in the Matrix, proof that reality might just be a giant simulation with the occasional bug. Others offered more grounded explanations, saying it could have been tangled in some unseen wires or some odd mechanical failure. Let me know your thoughts on this. Flying human? I know. Humans flying sounds impossible unless they're on planes, right? I thought the same, until I came across this bizarre incident. A couple was posing for a photo when, out of nowhere, a flying figure entered the frame, leaving them completely stunned. The figure was clearly humanoid, and its unbelievable speed left locals convinced it was someone with supernatural powers. Was this an otherworldly being, or are the locals right? Did we just catch a glimpse of the real-life Superman? Octopus man. A group of friends were trying out their new drone near a sandy beach when they saw something shocking. It looked like a guy's body with human-like features, but its head was another story. It looked like an octopus. Donning a green gown, it was running around like it was looking for something. The real question was how this guy ended up looking like this. There seemed to be no one on the beach, meaning no one else saw him. Could this guy be real, or was he just pulling some kind of prank? The guys didn't stay long to find out. Magic trick. This one's definitely gonna leave you scratching your head. A guy was reviewing his home security footage when he saw something that made him stop dead in his tracks. A figure, all covered up, entered the backyard in the dead of night. Nothing too weird at first, but then things took a strange turn. The guy picked something up from the ground, and as soon as he did, it started glowing. Like, glowing bright enough to light up the whole yard. And then, he just vanished, like he stepped into thin air. Was it a portal? Some high-tech gadget? No one knows what he grabbed, but it sure looks like he was using something to disappear. Monkey sorcery. On Vernon's Avenue, a delivery guy had a night he'll never forget. While dropping off a pizza, he was expecting the usual. Someone in pajamas, maybe a grumpy customer. But nope, out came a monkey, fully dressed, walking like he owned the place. The guy froze for a second, probably thinking he was on a hidden camera show. You can see him hesitate before handing over the pizza to the monkey, who casually took it like it was just another day. The delivery guy didn't stick around though. He packed up quick and bolted, likely hoping this wasn't going to be a regular thing. Some say it was a prank, others think the monkey might have been trained. shadowy presence. This CCTV footage from outside an apartment building has been making waves, and honestly, it's hard to wrap your head around. Everything starts off normal, with the usual quiet vibe you'd expect from late-night surveillance. But then, out of nowhere, this shadowy figure bolts across the first floor, so fast and so eerie it's like it defies the laws of physics. The guy who shared it was filming straight from his desktop, making it nearly impossible for anyone to say it was a hoax or edited. That's got everyone divided. Some swear it's a ghost tied to the building's history, while others think it's just the camera acting up. Giant hand. In the quiet of a remote area, a guy was enjoying the calm of dawn when something completely bizarre grabbed his attention. In the distance, a giant hand appeared, reaching down from the sky to grab something off the ground. The eeriest part was that faint, unsettling screams echoed in the background. Just as things got really intense, the video cut off, leaving everyone hanging. Some netizens were convinced it was proof that massive beings are lurking just out of sight, while others thought it was all an elaborate hoax. Maybe some clever CGI or a prank gone too far. Levitating man. This one's a wild one. A guy caught on camera doing something straight out of a superhero movie. He started by waving his hands around like he was summoning something, then he just laid down flat on the ground, and that's when it gets freaky. He slowly started floating up into the air, stiff as a board. No wires, no strings, just straight up levitation. At this point, you'd think it was some kind of video trickery, but then he pulls out a skipping rope, swings it beneath his feet, and starts skipping in mid-air. Like, what? Is this a stunt, or has this guy been practicing some secret powers we don't know about? Reindeer circle. One of the most mesmerizing drone shots out of Russia captured a herd of reindeer moving together in a swirling pattern, almost like a living cyclone. At first, it might seem like something eerie or supernatural, but there's a practical reason behind it. Experts explain that this unusual behavior is a protective tactic. When threatened, the reindeer form a tight circle, stampeding around to shield the most vulnerable, usually the fawns and females. It is at the center. Lone doorway. A group of travelers on a mountain drive stumbled upon something truly baffling. A massive hole right in the middle of one of the peaks. It didn't seem to serve any obvious purpose. No roads led in or out, and there were no signs of human activity around it. It was a perfect, unnatural cut into the mountain. Some wondered if humans had somehow carved it out for a purpose long forgotten. Others went deeper, speculating it might be some kind of portal to another dimension. Whatever the truth, the mysterious hole has left more questions than answers. Pterosaur. A man's trip into the North American jungle took a prehistoric turn when he witnessed something unbelievable in the sky. At first, he thought it was a massive bird flying around, but as he continued to watch the creature, its distinct shape reminded him of dinosaurs, particularly the pterosaur, a being that has been extinct for millions of years. So what could this possibly be? Perhaps dinosaurs have finally awakened from their long slumber. Or this was just a hoax as many believe. However, cryptid enthusiasts still think there might be a chance it's real. Deformed whale. While flying a drone over the Mediterranean, a team of oceanographers spotted something both incredible and heartbreaking. A massive 55-foot fin whale gliding near the surface. But this wasn't just any whale. Its spine had a shocking, sharp curve halfway down its body. At first, they thought it might have been tangled in something, but it turned out to be scoliosis, a rare spinal deformity in whales. The biologists tried to attach a tracker to study its movements, but the condition made things tricky. After a few hours of this extraordinary encounter, the whale, though struggling, swam back into the deep, leaving everyone in awe of its resilience. Penguin super colony. From above, they looked like tiny tadpoles scattered across the icy terrain. But this was no ordinary sight. Scientists conducting an aerial survey in Antarctica stumbled upon something astonishing: a mega colony of over 1.5 million penguins, a species once thought to be on the brink of extinction. In 2015, while surveying the endangered Arctic region, the researchers were stunned to find the birds thriving, nesting in the rocky soil of the frozen landscape. This incredible discovery has since spurred conservation efforts to ensure the survival of these rare and resilient creatures, proving that even in the harshest places, life finds a way. Secret burial. Drones have a knack for uncovering strange sights, but sometimes they stumble onto scenes that seem straight out of a conspiracy thriller. In this viral footage, a group of people in hazmat suits was spotted on an isolated patch of land. Naturally, the internet went wild. Some claimed it was evidence of a secret alien cleanup, while others thought it might be the aftermath of a dangerous biological incident. However, the truth was more grounded. The site was Hart Island in New York, a long-standing burial ground for the unclaimed and unidentified. Crop circle. While soaring over a quiet stretch of farmland, a drone stumbled upon something jaw-dropping, an enormous symbol carved into the crops. Perfectly symmetrical, it looked like a star encircled by crescent moons, as if it had been stamped from the sky. There was no sign of machinery or footprints nearby, just an unbroken sea of stalks around the design. Some swore it was alien graffiti, others thought it was some secret society up to no good. A few called it an epic prank, but come on, who's pulling that off without leaving a trace? Red River. People were left afraid when they heard about rivers in different places turning red in Russia, and some even started preparing for a great catastrophe. The most shocking of these red rivers was the Iskitimka River that turned a strange red color and had conspiracy theorists buzzing. But was it really the end of the world? According to experts, there's a simple explanation. It is due to high contents of iron and manganese that resulted in the strange color. Doesn't sound so creepy now, does it? Lonely tree. If you ever take a peek across the Dead Sea with binoculars, you might spot something unexpected. A lone tree standing smack in the middle of the salty waters. It's wild to think about, considering the Dead Sea's salt levels make it nearly impossible for anything to survive. But before you let your imagination run wild, here's the deal. It's actually an art piece. An artist planted the tree in this desolate spot to symbolize resilience and life in the harshest of conditions. What's more is the artist himself keeps it alive by regularly trekking out there to give it nutrients. It's not just a tree, it's a statement. Haunted wheelchair. In May 2022, a hospital in Thailand found itself at the center of a spine-chilling mystery. Late one night, CCTV footage caught a wheelchair rolling on its own toward the hospital's entrance. At first, it looked like the wind might be the culprit, but when the chair made a sharp turn, that theory flew right out the window. The eerie movement had everyone baffled, from hospital staff to folks online. While skeptics suggested it might be a cleverly staged hoax, even the hospital management admitted they were just as confused as anyone else. Some locals now believe it's the spirit of a former patient trying to make its presence known, adding to the hospital's growing supernatural reputation. Isolated tribe. It's one thing to hear about uncontacted tribes, but actually seeing them is a whole new level of surreal. In the depths of the Brazilian rainforest, a drone operator stumbled upon something incredible. 16 tribesmen walking through the dense jungle, completely unaware they were being watched from above. These tribes are notoriously protective of their territory, often meeting outsiders with hostility. That's why this footage is such a rare and remarkable glimpse into their world. The video shows them going about their lives, undisturbed and untouched by modern society. Eerie figure. A man was cruising down an empty road when he suddenly came across this towering figure, a humanoid, dressed in a crisp suit, standing perfectly still in the middle of the road. The thing didn't flinch or even acknowledge the car. It just stood there, almost like it was waiting for something. But then, as the guy glanced in his rearview mirror, the figure started walking towards the car. These entities are often labeled as the Slender Man in folklore, and have a sinister reputation for luring children with some kind of hypnotic influence. Could this mythical creature have come to life? Mountain beast. Mountains may seem like nothing but massive, lifeless rocks, but what if they're hiding something colossal? A group of tourists visiting a well-known peak got more than they bargained for when one of them spotted a bizarre silhouette at the summit. At first, it seemed like a massive rock formation, but as they continued to film, it looked like an enormous ape standing at least 25 meters tall. Just as they began dismissing it as a trick of the light, the figure moved. It bent down, almost like it was observing the group. Within seconds, it vanished into the dense forest below. Could it be a legendary creature or something even more unexplainable? Ant bridge. At first glance, it looks like a simple hanging rope. But wait, it's moving. Turns out it's ants. Yep, they've built a bridge. Who knew ants could pull off something so impressive? This incredible footage, recorded back in 2020, shows them invading a wasp nest. And they weren't just snooping around, they were stealing eggs straight from the nest. Now, I'm not sure what's scarier, ants or wasps. What do you think? Glowing object. In May 2019, something out of the ordinary went down near a Peruvian military base. Security footage from the base showed a glowing figure just hanging in the air before it drifted dangerously close to two soldiers on duty. It hovered for a moment, almost as if sizing them up, then shot back into the sky and vanished, without a trace. What's even weirder is that multiple cameras picked up the exact same thing, matching the soldiers' accounts. People online went wild, speculating if this was some sort of celestial being, maybe an angel or a restless spirit. Skeptics called it a hoax, but with all the cameras and the soldiers' consistent testimonies, it's hard to ignore. Ghost in red. A peaceful drive down the Yavatmal Ghat Road turned into a chilling encounter when headlights lit up a strange figure by the roadside. Locals call it the Ghost of Tsushima, a terrifying presence that's haunted this street for years. Drivers claim they've seen its flickering form dissolve into the shadows before their very eyes. Whether it's a restless spirit trapped between worlds or just an eerie illusion caused by the road's haunted reputation, one thing's for sure: most people would rather avoid testing their luck on that road after dark. Grim Reaper. A regular day at the park turned unsettling for one guy testing out his new camera. He was just zooming in and out and uploaded the footage to show off its sharp quality. But when the video hit the internet, the comments started flooding in with something totally unexpected. In the background was a dark figure standing alone in the field. What caught everyone's attention was its hooded silhouette, eerily resembling the Grim Reaper, but without the iconic scythe. Some people were convinced they were seeing the Reaper himself. Others, of course, were quick to chalk it up to a person wearing a costume. Ritual. Sometimes weird things pop up when you least expect it. A guy was out for a walk when he stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. He came across 4 people standing in an alley, leaning back and staring at the sky, and 2 of them were headless. Naturally, the internet went wild with theories. Some said it looked like a ritual, while others thought they might have been on something. Either way, it's not something you'd want to walk into on your way home. After seeing that, I'd bet he's thinking twice about his usual route. Mysterious disappearance. One night in Alabama, a man was just out for a stroll when something strange happened. He was walking alone when he noticed a dark figure standing by a street lamp. He didn't think much of it at first, but when he glanced down and then back up, the figure was gone, and the building nearby was way too far for someone to just vanish behind. The internet went wild trying to figure it out. Some thought it could be a ghost that teleported, while others leaned toward the idea of a creepy stalker pulling a weird prank. The truth? No one knows, and it's left everyone with a lot of unanswered questions. Ghost Town. An eerie drone video has been circling online, and it's like something ripped straight out of a dystopian movie. Deserted streets, crumbling buildings overtaken by wild greenery, and a silence so loud you can almost feel it. This isn't fiction though. It's Pripyat, the infamous ghost town left behind after the Chernobyl disaster in April 1986. What was once a thriving community turned into a no-go zone overnight when a reactor meltdown unleashed a deadly dose of radiation into the environment. Though it's now technically open to visitors, very few dare to venture inside. It's a chilling reminder of nature reclaiming what humanity abandoned. Loneliest man. A guy with a camera managed to grab everyone's attention when he captured something unbelievably rare, the last known member of an isolated Amazon tribe. This man, who had been living completely alone in the dense forests of Brazil, was spotted cutting down trees, his body covered in leaves as a makeshift cover. He had no clue he was being filmed. For over a decade, the Brazilian government had been quietly keeping tabs on him, ensuring he was left undisturbed. But this footage, it's the kind of thing people never expected to see. A rare glimpse into a life so disconnected from the rest of the world, it felt almost unreal. Ferocious dragon. This guy was filming the magnificent building of the Notre Dame Cathedral in France when something straight out of a fantasy novel happened. A massive dragon, yeah, a full-blown dragon, came flying from the sky and jumped onto the rooftop like it owned the place, shaking everything around it. The sheer size of this thing was unreal, and it seemed completely unbothered by the chaos it caused. After a short rest, it spread its enormous wings and took off like nothing happened, disappearing into the clouds. Some say it's a CGI prank. Others think it might be proof of mythical creatures we thought were long gone. Either way, it's hard to shake this one. Goat Man. Goats are adorable, right? Well, I bet you'd change your mind after watching this clip. Standing upright on its hind legs, with completely jet black eyes, it looked like this goat was under the influence, either by some evil entity or something else entirely. The internet suggested demonic possession, as such entities are known to roam at night. Jetpack Man. Looks like flying might be within reach for all of us soon. Back in December 2020, a man aboard a private jet recorded a jaw-dropping video of someone soaring 3,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean, strapped to a jetpack. Jetpacks are still a rare sight. Earlier that year, a man in Dubai captured footage of his own jetpack flight, reaching a staggering 6,000 feet in the sky. But if you're thinking of taking your own sky ride, be careful. That jetpack guy, had he gotten even a little closer to the plane, his fate could have taken a dangerous turn. Dolphin or mermaid? A group of fishermen were shocked at what they saw during their trip. At first, they thought it was a dolphin swimming at breakneck speed, but when they went back and watched the video again, they realized it was not a regular clip. With a clearly visible human head, arms, and a shiny body, the creature quickly made its way through the water. No human could have moved so fast and with such skill, as if it was one with the sea. Netizens believed it was one of the strongest mermaid sightings to have ever been captured on camera, leaving us to wonder about the countless mysteries of the sea. Open discussion. Imagine trekking through a mountain trail only to stumble upon coffins dangling from the cliffs. Spooky, right? Well, that's not just a chilling thought, it's a reality. In the remote mountains of southwest China, these precarious hanging coffins, perched 100 to 400 feet high, have been baffling people for centuries. Some of these ancient relics date back thousands of years and are believed to belong to the Bo people. But why bury their dead so high up? Theories range from practical reasons, like protecting the bodies from floods, to symbolic ones, suggesting the elevation reflected the status and respect of the deceased. Some even speculate the Bo people might have possessed extraordinary abilities, like flight, to achieve such a feat. Either way, definitely an eerie way to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,